Well, good day, everyone. Today is actually Christmas Eve, so 24th of 2023. This is Sandra Alexei. I'm from my muse. If you look underneath, you'll see my web link. It's mypersonalmuse.com. What I am is I'm an author, I'm an astrologer, I'm an educator. Okay. I do numerology and astrology. I put it together because it's all about self-discovery. So I'm just learning. Okay, so have patience with me. This is the first time I wanted to show everybody because I'm going to have some specials on doing readings and sessions for you. And this is one of the things that I analyze. This is an astrology chart. I'm also going to be doing teaching because I want people to be able to understand when I say there's a new moon coming, there's a full moon, Mercury's retrograde, how it's going to affect you personally. Okay. That being said, I'm wishing you all a wonderful day, and I hope that you do get something out of this. Okay. I'd appreciate it if you would like. If you comment, I do a draw once a month for a mini reading, and I'd love it if you would subscribe to the channel. Okay, so this is an astrology chart. We call this a natal chart. Okay, this chart is a fellow called Tom Brady. Okay, very famous football player. I'm not even sure if I can move this, so see if I can move it up a little bit. Yes, you can see his name there. Okay, so the difference in the chart, everybody's chart is going to look similar, except you're going to have different glyphs and the planets are going to be different. Every chart has 12 houses. Okay. This chart, when we look over here, is called the funnel type. You can see there's a funnel, how it moves out. His leading one is Mars. That makes sense because Mars is about action and what's football. And so he's out there. Okay. His focus is the moon. His ruling ascendant is Venus, which we'll talk about. Okay. And so let's have a look at it. So there's two parts I do. The first part, okay, is when I get somebody's information. I do their name because I also put numerology into it. So I need the name from the birth certificate. I need the month, day, the year of birth. I need the exact time of birth, and I need the place that you were born. That changes the dynamics here. And you can do charts for towns, for cities, for occasions, for where you want to live, where you want to move. And right now, a lot of what's happening out there in the world is because we have a USA Pluto return. What that means is in 1776, the U.S. went away from England. And so it's all about freedom of expression. There's no control. Okay, so anyway, let's get started. So two parts, as I was going to say, that's where the planets are, the day and the time they were born. The next part to the session and reading is when the planets move around, how they affect the planets that are in the different houses. Okay, so let's start. Everybody knows we say horoscope. So you're a sun sign, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, all of the different ones, okay? So that's the first thing we look at. Where is his sun? What house it's placed in means a lot. So his sun is in Leo and it's at home, so it just shines, okay? So his sun is in Leo. It's in the 10th house, which is house of public acknowledgement, career, profession, which he's a very famous football player. The next thing I look at, that's his essence, and that's who he is. When he walks into a room, what he shows me, what I'm going to read, what I'm going to pick up, I'm going to pick up his ascendant, which is over here. And his is 17 degrees of Libra, and Libra is ruled by Venus. Okay. And so he would be very aesthetically pleasing in his body, in his dress, And we could say that he really loves beautiful things. I've never watched him. I'm not a football. I don't watch football. I watch hockey, but I assume he's not one of these fighting and what type of thing. He'd be very graceful getting what he needs to have done. Okay. Also, I know that he was married to a model. Okay, the next thing I'm going to look at is, where is his moon? And what does the moon tell me? The moon tells me about his emotions, his instincts, and his habits. And his moon, and then we see what house it's. So his moon is over here. It's in the 6th house, and it's in Aries. So Aries is ruled by Mars. Okay, and so it's all about his moon. Okay, which is, it deals with emotions, instincts, and habits. And if Aries is about action, he's very quick. Okay, so I'm sure he would be very quick to react. Okay, then let's go ahead and let's look at where his Mercury is. His Mercury is going to be his communication style, his intellect, his reasoning. And that's interesting. So where's his Mercury? His Mercury is over here. Pardon me, that was Venus. So his Mercury is in the 11th house, which is house of others. It's out there. And his Mercury is in Virgo, which means he's very detailed orientated. So he's very logical in his thinking process. Let's look at where his Venus is. That's where we get here. Love, beauty, art. So he's got his Venus in Cancer. Okay, so Cancer is ruled by the moon. Okay, so Cancer is about being very caring. It's very sensitive, and so he has that kind of essence about him. Now let's look at his Mars. Mars is, where's that Mars going here? So Mars right here. So he's in the 8th house, house of transformation. Mars is in Gemini. So his Mars is his action. Okay. And we said he's leading with Mars. So Mars in Gemini, leading Mars. Okay. All about action. So this is a house of transformation. Also, and this is Fortuna. So that's the fortunate. So he's very fortunate in this kind of area. Okay. And his Mars is the action, the desire. So he's be able to, how we do intentions and that type of thing. It's fortunate in that. His Jupiter. Now let's look at his Jupiter. His Jupiter is here in the 9th house. 9th house is all about, it's about truth. It's about philosophy, that type of thing. And that's where his Venus is too. Okay. Yeah, his Venus is too. But his Venus is in Cancer and his Jupiter is in Gemini. So we have to take that into consideration. Okay. So he's really lucky. Likes to, 9th house is about travel, but it's about traveling philosophically too. Okay. It's also can be about publishing. There's many different things it can be. Okay. Saturn is over here. Now Saturn rules Capricorn. For each one of the signs has a ruler. It is also it was the first ruler of Aquarius, but now Aquarius has Saturn and Uranus. So Saturn in Leo. Okay, so again, so it's very expressive. He's very good at what he does. Okay, very responsible. That's the big word. When he makes a commitment, he follows through on it. Okay, they say structure, they can say pessimism. I don't say that. I just say you're highly responsible. Now we get to the outer planets, okay? And these are the ones where we have more time with like soul evolution and that type of thing. So we're going to look at Uranus. Uranus is right here in Scorpio, which is very deep. And where is it in his first house? So that tells me there's a lot of shifting and changing in there, but he could be pretty erratic at times. Okay, so he wouldn't be afraid of expressing himself, and it would be really fast. And it's just like, this is how I think, this is what's going on. And at a deep, because Scorpio is all about deep knowings and that type of thing, okay? Let's look at his Neptune. His Neptune sits in Sagittarius in the second house is house of self. This is house of what do I have? Okay, what is it personally? This is house of shared money and resources. This is more of your own. Okay, so his Neptune is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, so it can be expansive. The only thing with Neptune, it's a very spiritual planet. There can be a bit of delusion or illusion. We have to look at it closer. Okay. Great dreams. He fulfilled his dream. Then we're going to look at Pluto. Now, Pluto is, where are you hiding, Pluto? Pluto is in the 12th house and it's in Libra, and the 12th house is about spirituality. Okay. And right now, Pluto is moving since 2008. This is the power. Pluto is about power and transformation. So he's had much transformation in his own spirituality. Since 2008, Pluto has been in Capricorn. And basically, what it has done is totally deconstructed every societal part of our life. And the reason it deconstructed it, because it was all based on greed, power over, corruption, okay? But the good news is in January of 2024, it moves into Aquarius, which is a higher octave of consciousness. And so we have to see what was revealed during those years and how are we going to move forward. Okay, so here's the big one. Okay, then we're going to look at the two things that are called the nodes. This is what I really love because these tell me a lot about past lives, and Chiron is here and Jericho's here. They mean different things too, but this was my my karmic past. Okay, and usually, and they're my past gifts. So he has his South Node in Aries, okay, which is very interesting. And so he has the gifts of action, of saying what he needs to say, having courage, that type of thing, hey? And this is, we call his Dharma. This is where his destiny is. That's what he's destined to be. He was destined to find out more about who he is in a Libra way. But the most fascinating thing, and now I'm going to move into, now we've talked about the different energies of who this person is. Very similar to, say, a Myers-Briggs, okay, which a lot of headhunters use to see the different skills and competencies of that type of thing. But it's very fascinating. I didn't even realize I chose it, but this is one of the reasons I did. From July 23rd, I think it was, of 2023 for 18 months. What we have is the North Node collectively, and personally, and it depends where it is. Everybody has a node, but you also will have it in your house somewhere placed. Is that we're going through a North Node in Aries and a South Node in Libra. And so basically what's been happening is that we have been trying to please other people all the time. We've been putting them ahead of us. But what we've learned is it's time we stood up to our I am presence. We become authentic. We stop pleasing and pussyfooting around. We need to come from truth. Emotional honesty is one of the greatest things in any kind of communication. We're talking relationship. You talk love relationships. It's like, oh, no, we can't talk. No, you have to be emotionally honest. Okay. So right now, because the North Node is opposite, he's not having a nodal return. He's dealing with a lot of stuff in his Libra. Okay, he's having to look at that. So if you have a North Node, I have a couple of friends that have North Nodes in Aries, and actually what the one has done is she's actually left and is going to have a divorce. Okay, because she came into, I say you come into who you really are, and you look at the world and you go, hey, this is who I am, and this is where I'm going. Okay. And so it's really big time. Now, I don't know, because I got so excited with starting. I think I told you I am a business and spiritual coach. My website is mypersonalmuse.com. You can see the different things that I do. You can see the different books that I've authored. I'm and published. I'm just in the process of writing a new book. I do sessions and readings. I love to interview people that have skills to be able to help people with their self-discovery. And again, if you like this, if you put a comment, I do a draw once a month for a mini reading, and I'd love it if you would subscribe. And so many blessings and much love. And check out, I do a lot on Facebook. For every video I do a written description on my Facebook. And the reason is that people can copy it and they see the different time frames. And so on the 31st, we have Jupiter that's going direct. Mercury is still retrograde. Uranus is going direct. And next month, watch out, January 20th and 21st, I think, that's when we have the big shift. Okay, because at that point, the sun is sitting at 29 degrees Capricorn and Pluto is sitting at 29 degrees Capricorn. The next day, the sun becomes 0 degrees Aquarius, and Pluto becomes 0 degrees Aquarius. And it's going, and so we're moving into a whole new consciousness. That's what this has been about. Okay. And it's going to stay there until 2044. It moves back for a little bit in Capricorn, just so you can clean things up. So many blessings, much love, and have yourself a wonderful Christmas, New Year's Eve, everything.